Are you new to beachcombing? If you are, stay tuned for this video. It's going to be the one for you. In this video, I'm going to take you to a new beach that I'm going to beachcomb, and after, I'm going to take you onto my computer and show you step by step how I find my beachcombing spots. It's a beautiful day in November in Wisconsin, and it's over 60 degrees, so it's a great day. I'm back in my white coat, not my winter coat. So let's see how today goes, and stay till the end, and hopefully I'll have some treasures to show you. Oh my gosh. Look at this day, and look at this beach that I found. I hope I can get to the sandy area from here, otherwise I'm gonna have to move my car. Looks like there's a break wall here. Maybe I can't. So here was a GPS fail. I didn't look very carefully. It doesn't look like I can get down to the beachy area from here. So, and it looks like most people are parked up on the side of the road. This wasn't actually a GPS fail, this was a human fail. I didn't look at my GPS carefully enough, and so when I got to this park, I realized that there's a break wall that I can't get around. So I've got to move down the road a little bit, but that's one thing about your route planning is you have to look very carefully at the satellite view to see where the access points are. So we're gonna move a little down the road and see if I can get to the actual beach. Okay, it looks like I found the beach access. You can see from this side, I was parked over at that park across the way. Didn't quite make it to the right spot, but now I'm here, so let's check it out. Came down to this spot that I wasn't sure if there was going to be anything to beachcomb based on what I saw on the internet. It looked like it might be a pretty sandy beach, and in fact it is just mostly a sandy beach. There's a few little shells here, but not much. So I'm going to move up the road a little bit, a mile or two. It looked like there might have been a beach up there that was a little sandier. You never know, even with the best planning, what you're going to find. So this is a beautiful spot. It's absolutely gorgeous, but there isn't much beachcombing, so to speak. Oh, look at this. On my way back to the car. I don't know if you remember me beachcombing in a previous video on this beach, but I was talking about how much the beach changes, and sure enough, when the waves are up, there's nothing to beachcomb for. The beach has been pretty much wiped clean. So you just never know when you come out if it's going to be great or not. It's still beautiful out here. I'm enjoying it, but there's nothing unless you're into driftwood. Piece of pottery. Right there are all my rock piles, completely buried by waves, but that'll make new rock piles for the next time. Welcome to my computer. I'm going to give you a little look into how I go about finding new beachcombing spots. If you've never done it before, a lot of people will ask on Facebook sites and different blogs, where do I go? I don't know how to find a beachcombing spot. Where do you find all your cool stuff? Well, a lot of seasoned beachcombers won't exactly tell you where they find their their cool spots because they don't want their spots to be found by others because it's their secret spot. And honestly, part of beachcombing is the chase, the find, to go in there and find a place of your own. So what I do, I actually did a little bit of work ahead of time. I went to some websites and things just to cut this video down a little bit. But one of the first things that I do is figure out where I want to go. So we're going to be going to Galveston soon. I've never been there before. So the first thing that I do is just do a quick, simple Google search. And in my Google search, I came up with a couple of articles here. I found this beachcombing article on here. This told me a few places: the Stingaree Road, I don't know if I said that right, Gilchrist, High Island, Texas City Dike. And so I read through that article, got some ideas there. I found this other article that's kind of in depth. This one talks about the beach by Woody's Bar at 7.5 Mile Road. Also, this far eastern end of the island that runs along the mouth of the Houston Ship Channel. So what I did, after I got a few of those ideas, I went to Google Maps and looked for these different places, and I kind of mapped them out. Let's just say I'm staying at Jamaica Beach RV Park. I used that as my starting point, and then I kind of mapped out where all of these places were. And what I did is I set up my own Google map. I have lots of maps saved in Google Maps. This is not a tutorial on how to use Google Maps, and honestly, I'm not that good at it, so I wouldn't be the right person to tell you how to do that, but I muddle through. So on here, from all that research, I found these different places on the map. If I zoom out a little bit, you can see I put these points all down the beach here. So these are the places that I'm probably going to try to check out for sure because they are recommended. Now you can always, Galveston is all beach. So in my mind, there's probably a lot more places to look as well. So after I do that, I go in and I read the reviews on the different places, like this High Island Beach, for instance. Over here, it says, never go to this beach alone. Check the tides and watch out for snakes. So I wondered, but why can't I go alone? I'm not sure if it's not safe there. If it has snakes, maybe it isn't safe. But what I also did was Google, is High Island safe? And it turns out I didn't see anything where people said it wasn't safe. Probably the first time I go, I'll bring my husband along just to be sure. Once you get into the Google reviews, then you can go down and read what people have said. And so also within the reviews, you can see pictures. Like I really like these rocky areas because I know that that's a really good place for beach glass. So this is definitely a place that I would like to check out when I'm down in Galveston. So basically you get an idea of where you want to go and then figure out how you're going to get there. And then the next thing that I do is look at where to park. So because parking, sometimes you can find, and you can see it in this very video that you're looking at right now, I parked in the wrong place. And when I went to go park in the proper place, it was just street parking. So I didn't know that ahead of time. But the best place to do that is to go into your satellite and really zoom in on, these accesses. I know in Galveston, you can park on the beach, which, wow, I've never done that before. That freaks me out just a little bit. But, you can actually see cars here on the beach. So I think in Galveston, a lot of these, you just drive out and you park wherever you're comfortable parking, which is kind of cool because then you don't have to look for a parking spot. So I'm very interested to see how that goes. And so after I figure out where I'm going to park, I figured out where I'm going to go, I figured out how I'm going to get there. And I already mentioned this before, I just do a little quick search on, is that area safe? I didn't find anything in my research on Galveston that it was unsafe to be
on the beach. So, so I have my Google map here with all of these things. And I believe, I can't tell you how to do it right now because I said I'm not very good at Google Maps, but I believe I can, well, let's see, I think I can share it to myself. So I'm just going to close this right now because, again, this is not a tutorial on Google Maps. Stay tuned for my Galveston videos that I'm going to have coming up, because I'm hoping, it seems to me through all my research here, that this is going to be a really great place to go beachcombing.
Since this video is aimed at newbies, I have just a couple of tips that I want to share about, especially today it was perfect. Tip number one, keep your expectations low. If you heard some stupid YouTuber talk about what great things she found, you know, at Lake Michigan or, you know, at some particular beach, keep your expectations low, because the beach changes all the time. The tides, the winds, the weather, you name it, the beach is always going to change. And so it might be great one week, might be terrible the next. So keep your expectations low. Don't blame people if you drove 4 hours to get to a beach and there was nothing to find. That is Mother Nature's way. So that's the first tip. The second tip is be aware of your surroundings. I went to these new beaches today, and the first one that I stopped at, I just didn't feel comfortable. It wasn't in a very nice neighborhood, and so I moved on. I just kind of took a quick look and I moved on. I didn't feel comfortable there. I beachcomb alone. My safety is important, so just kind of check the vibe and see what you think before you make a commitment to beachcomb in a particular place. The other places I went to were fine. Actually, the second place that I stopped was a little sketchy too. There was a strange man out on the beach who was, I don't know, he was directing traffic or something on the beach. I'm not sure what he was doing, but he was fine. But just sort of, you know, just keep yourself safe, especially if you're alone. And the third tip for newbies is, when you go out and beachcomb, if you head one way down the beach, let's say you have an hour, if you head one way down the beach, take a half hour and then turn around, give yourself the same amount of time to come back. Today I found just a small bag of glass, but every piece that I found coming back. I walked right by them the first time. For my little car show and tell, I didn't find, other than these little pieces of glass that weren't that great, I did find a nice, you know, big chunk of pottery, a cute little heart-shaped rock, and it's actually striped. I don't know if you can see it. It's really pretty. And then I did find this rock, which I don't know my rocks very well. Unfortunately, I'm a big rock hunter, but I don't know them very well. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if it's an agate. If anybody knows their agates, let me know, because this is kind of a pretty stone. It's sparkly and it's striped, but I don't know if it's an agate or not. So that's the lessons for today. I hope you enjoyed learning about how I find my beachcombing spots, and maybe I'll see you out on the beach sometime. Till next time.